Welcome to Torah Video Mashup, where we bring the weekly Torah portion as told to you by your favorite YouTube videos that you're too embarrassed to admit you watch instead of working your crummy office job.
Now, are you going to go ahead and have those TPS reports for us?
This week's Torah portion is Bereshit, the first book of Genesis. Not that book of Genesis. You're getting all confused. This tells the story of the creation of the earth, of Adam and Eve. We also hear about a snake guy. We've got Cain and Abel. And then we've got this whole story with monsters and angels and a whole bunch of other stuff that they didn't teach you in Bible study. So in the opening of our Torah reading, Bereshit, God creates the world in 6 days and rests on the seventh. Kind of works like this. First we have the darkness and the light. And then on the second day, God forms the heavens, dividing the upper waters from the lower waters. And then on the third day, God sets the boundaries of the land and sea, and it's all whoosh, that kind of stuff. And then we get some trees and some shrubbery. Now on the fourth day, God puts the sun and the moon and the stars all in their place. We got some little fishies and some reptiles and creatures like that on the fifth day. And then we get land animals and a human being by the name of Adam on the sixth day. On the seventh day, God decides to take a vacation, which is where we get Shabbat. Now, of course, if you're Dawkins, you think that this whole thing is freaking silly, and I can understand that completely. But let's take a look at the words we have here. So we have Adam, which is the one on the right here, and then we have Adamah. Adamah is the word for ground. Pretty similar, right? Adam, the little X thing, the hook thing, and the M thing, comes from Adamah, earth, or the X thing that has the little H-looking thing at the end. What's interesting is that the little hook circle thing, that's Dam, means blood. So basically we have two words here. We have Adam, which is sort of like blood person, and Adamah. Now, ma means how. So Adamah, if you look at how all of the words come together, basically means how the blood person got here. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, well, let's move on.
Living in paradise was just so stressful today, but you always know just what to do.
I know we were just created, but I feel like we've known each other forever. You know, like all 7 days.
I know, I'm just so comfortable around you. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you just said
this is all my fault. Listen, I'm so sorry.
No. It's fine. It just seemed like God wanted us to start the human race, so I was thinking that I'd do what God wanted.
I know, I'm sorry. If you think I led you on, I just don't see us like that.
So, Genesis 1, no more Genesis jokes, tells the story of the creation of the world and the people in it, the collective Adam. But Genesis 2 tells the story of a dude named Adam and his wife Eve. Yeah, the Adam thing is confusing, but if you wanted to watch something simple, you should just watch the Numa Numa video over and over again. Now, moving on, we have this whole snake issue. Now, snake cults were a common thing back in the ancient Near East, so when the Torah calls the snake the most cunning creature, it's not because the snake itself was that smart, but because snake cults, which ran in opposition to the Hebrews' monotheism, were a real threat. The snake is made out to be the bad guy in the story because, well, snake cults were a bad thing. Plus, who really thinks that snakes are all that smart? If I was going to start a cult, I'd start the cult of the honey badger.
Here comes a fierce battle between a king cobra and a honey badger. I wonder what'll happen. Look at this. There's the honey badger just eating a mouse. And then look, get away from me, says the snake. Get away from me. Honey badger don't care.
Adam and Eve eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Basically, they wanted to be as smart as God, as well as immortal. Now, God's not a huge fan of this sort of thing, and Adam and Eve are banished from the garden. I know, really sad. But hey, it gets better, right? Because Adam and Eve have 2 sons, huh? Wrong. Watch what happens to Cain and Abel.
So, brother, God values you above me. We shall see how he values you in death.
Now Now, most people think this is the end of the story, but it's not. The next thing that happens is a whole bunch of begatting, and that's basically Bible talk for making babies. And then there's this weird story that's completely up for interpretation. Basically, it says that a whole group of people called the Sons of Heaven were taking brides, and that their children were giants called Nephilim. Now, mainstream Judaism doesn't take these sons to actually be angels or Joss Whedon for that matter, but it's up to interpretation. What's not up for debate is that these were horrible people, so God decides to wipe out everyone from the earth just like a big ol' Etch-a-Sketch. I hear raindrops, and that means it's time for Parsha Noah. Stay tuned as we tread water.
This has been a PunkTorah production. Thank you for watching.